my dear Cancer. This is a love reading, a prediction for the month of January with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. As an extended member to the channel, you will get these readings ahead of time and with no ads. And the reading 2022 love prediction is up for the full members to the channel. And the gifts of 2022 reading is up for all the members to the channel. We will reveal what you have to look forward to in 2022. Extended and full members can also order readings from me with a 30% discount after the holidays. Subscribe and then check out the many perks through the join button that will appear, or follow the link in the description box to learn more about membership. I can recommend that you rewatch the previous love reading for December to get a context, and this is the prediction for January. And I will start reading your cards, and I use the Golden Universal Tarot with Roberto De Angelis. So, when I open your deck here, I see the Five of Wands in the reverse together with the Five of Coins also in the reversed. So something has happened that was a little bit humiliating to you, something that has... it made you feel very sensitive. It made you feel like a little bit, I don't know, even ashamed, even though you had nothing to be ashamed about. It's almost as if someone on the outside have been trying to take control over you. But with these cards in the reversed, it doesn't seem as if you allowed that to happen. But you still feel kind of bruised by the attack. Okay, so I call the Divine with Love and Light. And here we have the Star card in the reverse together with the Five of Coins. So it's almost like you have lost hope a little bit in humanity, or like the good in the world, or the good in your partner. So maybe they did something that you didn't expect them to do, something that was, you held them probably to a higher standard and they weren't able to live up to this standard. They did something that made you see them in like a more truer light. But it's sad for you because you had higher expectations. You saw this person as, or these people as good and righteous. And now you almost feel ashamed for trusting them to begin with. Okay. So I call the four archangels in the four corners of the world. And here we have the Chariot in the reversed with the Star card in the reversed. So it almost seems like you don't want to go deeper into this topic or look deeper because you're scared of probably being even more disappointed by this person. So when they say something that's, offensive or horrendous or, hurtful or painful, you might not go into it too much or, investigate too much what it was that they were saying because at this point you feel almost a little bit more scared for your own inner verdict of the person. That if you see the truth about them or what they stand for or what they say or said, then you might want to, accordingly to your moral, want to move on from this person. But you kind of don't want to, you want peace, you want love and understanding. And it's almost like you want to believe that this person still stands for these things, even if you have lately had proof otherwise. Okay. So I call the 6 elements. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. And here we have Aquarius and Sagittarius, Knight of Wands, and the Star card. It seems as if another side to you will awaken. We saw with the Chariot, it's Sagittarius Cancer energy. So it's your more nicer side, who doesn't want to have a conflict. We saw the conflict card, Five of Wands in the beginning, opening card. But here it's something blooming inside of you. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like you're regaining hope and maybe I got the torch now. So maybe you feel as you're more ready to speak up about what you have seen, and you're more ready to maybe destroy the delicate balance between you and another person, where you pretended that you liked what they said, or that you didn't hear what they said, or that you didn't take offense of what they said, or that you didn't see that it was unfair, unjust, or immoral. But at a later stage, you will maybe explore other options, but you're a little bit careful because you don't know the consequences to shifting perspective on this person, and maybe shifting also behavior towards this person or these people. Okay, so I'm just going to tune in for a few seconds here to you and the person most on your mind and your relationship in January. So this is the new bottom of the deck, and we have the Knight of Wands here again. So I want to take some clarification what this stands for. What are you standing for? What are you fighting against? Okay, love, unconditional love, self-oneness, passion, affection, attraction. I think that you will go for what you want, you proclaim what you want, and you will stand up for love and possibly also fairness in this situation, like everything that's loving, and in a position to everything that's not loving, or that's that might maybe whitewash it itself as being loving, someone love bombing you, but then not really caring for you for real. And here we have the old bottom of the deck, and it's the Strength in the reverse. So basically you didn't want to be a hero and, stand on the barricades and say, this is all wrong and you shouldn't do this, and how could you say that? And you didn't want to have the light shining upon you while you were standing up, telling your truth. You wanted to, okay, that was horrendous that you said that, but we're sweeping it underneath the carpet because I don't want to have conflict. I don't want to have to stand and fight. I don't want to have to do this. I don't want to have to do that. So please, can we pretend that you never said that, or you never did that thing? So that was the paradigm in the past with your energy. But now in the future, you will probably stand up more, and you will be ready. Maybe you will have more energy. Maybe that has been lacking, but eventually it comes to a point where we can't see past what we have learned, and we might need to take a stand. Okay, so this is what's on your mind, with the person most on your mind. This is the situation with said person. This is what's on their mind with you. This might be a person like your lover. It can be like a group, your family, for example. It can be people at your work, your best friends, one of your best friends. So this is emotional level, and this is your behaviors and attitudes, the outcome for January, and their behaviors and attitudes. So we start with the situation here. So we have the Magician, so above, so below. And when we see things, like when we have realized things in our mind, we might have to take a stand and do some action also in our life. It might be this thing nagging at you, something your partner said last week. It's coming, again and again, and you might feel a little bit fueled with anger, or this willingness to speak up and talk about this issue, put light on this issue. But in the same time, we have seen that you have been a little bit hesitant to this. But this Magician energy is a little bit more like this Knight of Wands energy here. It's a curiosity. It's a awakening where we see things that we would want things to be in a certain way, and we are prepared to go in that direction to get what it is that we want. So it's a action-filled energy, and also communication. This is tied to Mercury. Sagittarius is an arrow, and so it's much with the stepping up, speaking up, taking control over the situation and look what needs to be done. So it's also action oriented, and this is what's on your mind. With the person most on your mind, a Queen of Swords. I think this is when you are grinding your teeth at night, thinking about what they said, and that you didn't answer. You were maybe just nice, or just skipped what they said and moved on to the next topic. But here it's like, sorry, and it's the Queen of Swords in reverse is a little bit. She's not very patient. It's more this off with their heads kind of energy. A person that has maybe lost patience with a situation that they before had patience with. Maybe we didn't want to be judgmental. We didn't want to jump the gun on things. We wanted to give the benefit of the doubt. But here comes, is almost like a pressure from inside of you that makes you judge this what you saw, and feeling like more and more incitement that you want to do something about what was said and done, or at least voice your concerns. Maybe you still don't want to cause a lot of drama, because the Queen of Swords is not a dramatic person. It wants to solve the situation, probably solve the person, with the sword, and then be over with it. It's not that energy doesn't have patience with people not understanding your point of view. So it's not the most diplomatic energy when it comes in reversed. Okay. And this is what's on their mind with you. Queen of Wands. So with this energy, they probably kind of know that you are on to them, and that you have heard what they said. I think what they said was an attempt to stand up for themselves, or to take up something that they might have been kept hidden before. Maybe they have been angry with you, or maybe they have had resentment towards certain ideas in your relationship, and they haven't said anything. And when it finally came out, it might have come out in a not very polished manner. So when someone has collected some fury for a very long time, eventually it will like this. So sometimes people that's a little bit evil might reveal themselves like this. They know what are allowed to be said and what's not allowed to be said. But one day they might just have a slip of their tongue, because and they might say, something that's generally being seen as cruel, because that's what they are thinking inside, but they haven't shared this with anyone. So sometimes the Queen of Wands has a little bit of a temper, and may not always be the most empathic person. It's like the mean girl in school that think that people should behave like this, and the people that's not fitting to this frame, they are, useless, shouldn't be allowed on school property. So it's that kind of energy what I'm feeling. But I definitely feel as in the person's core, they were thinking that they stood up for themselves, but it might have come out blunt or unpolished or undiplomatic in some way. Okay. And here we see the bond between you two, and it's an Ace of Coins. So there's some kind of possibility of growth here, or expansion, or getting something valuable out of this situation. So even if it seems like prepared for some kind of battle, it in itself might hold the seed of something that can be much more beneficial to both of you. Let's say that this person held their teeth before their tongue for a very long time, and eventually they needed to say what they felt needed to be said. And you can't believe your ears that they said that thing. But if you would actually communicate about it. You might have a way of understanding each other better, more on depths, instead of sitting in your chambers, suffocating the conversation, and instead fueling a lot of maybe misunderstandings about each other. Okay. And this is your feelings level. We have a page of wands here. So I can see you have turned your back towards this other person here. I want to see their 10 of cups. So they haven't turned their back against you. It's something that they have said that you're very judgmental of, and you feel like you want to rebel against this, what have happened here. We'll see. I want to understand their point of view or their intention in this situation. We have healthy choices, making healthy choices in love and in life, self-love, self-care, being happier. So it's what I felt that the person is trying to, they're trying to, step into their self-respect. Maybe they have been feeling suppressed over a longer period of time, not being able to be themselves, and now they want to be themselves. So from their point of view and from their soul's point of view, it's a healthy choice. But what's so irritating with this? I like you. Someone likes you. Romance is blooming. Fun flirting, want to date. Okay. I can't say I understand this at all, but I see the 10 of cups here. So for some of you, this might be someone that's inappropriate, have told you that they are interested in you, and it's really humiliating to you to have that being said, because maybe they are married, you are married, or otherwise engaged, or it's something here that's being offensive in this situation, but it actually seems like both people have the same intention, love. So even if you are in different fences in a discussion, let's say a moral discussion, it might not be that you're actually so different in your intention. Like both people seems to want to share more love, share more, maybe among peers, maybe among a lot of people. And it's just different sides to the story. It's just different ways to find yourself in the same situation. Maybe one is saying we need to end poverty in the world to solve the world's problem, because people are starving. It's horrific. So you say it's, people are starving, is horrific. We need to save people. But then this person says, no, we don't need to save people. Like, that's not the most acute. We need to save nature instead. And you think that's so immoral and that's so horrible. But from your intentions point of view, both people want what's best for Earth and life on Earth, for example. Coffin, endings brings new beginnings. This is you. I was asking about to have, equalness here. So this Queen of Swords is really serious. Maybe you don't like this other person's opinion at all, and you're really feel threatened by it and hurt by it, and you almost want to end this with this person. This is not an ending card, but it's almost like I'm feeling you want to go and find another group to spend your time with, or seeking for other social adventures than with this person here, even if it's the love that's being offered to you. But I don't know what's going on in your houses, bedrooms, living rooms, and yards, but it's so I can't say. I can just speak about what the cards is saying to me. Like, I can feel how you feel. I can feel, but I might not be able to understand all of your 1,000 different people's conflicts. So here we have your behaviors and attitudes, and it's almost like divorcing. So finding someone else that has, the same point of view, instead of being with this person where you might need to have a conflict and discuss something and sort it out. So instead you just want to close shop and find love or find company elsewhere, or at least not share any of your ideas with this person, why don't you want to share your ideas with this person? Fortune in the reversed. Yeah, okay. So fortune in the reversed. Sadly, it's kind of indicated that you had a standpoint that you don't want to abandon that standpoint, even though it might give riches in some way, because this is indicating that this could enrich, but you're saying, I don't want these darn riches because it's not my riches. So I'm trying to find the red thread in the story, because first I felt as if someone had said something really rude towards you. As they said, for example, you say, oh, I missed you so much that summer. And they said, well, I didn't miss you. I had the time of my life. You should know what an amazing summer that was. Like, that's a little bit offensive because you were not in it and now you're together with this person. And they say that this summer was the most amazing summer that they had. And it was without you, and you say, oh, okay, I'm so glad you had a wonderful summer, but afterwards you're kind of, I want to kill them in their sleep kind of mood here with the Queen of Swords. But then when I see their side of the story, it more looks as if you have had a conflict of like opinion, or that you have had difference in worldview, or you looked at the news and they said something and your partner agreed, and you think that it was horrible that they agreed with this. So a little bit hard to understand. I'll see their point of view here again. And we have Thief in the reversed. So they definitely feel like they are a crook, but they don't want to feel as if they are a crook for having this opinion or voicing this. So if sometimes the truth is hurtful as well. Let's say that the person actually, they didn't miss you that summer. That means they really didn't miss you that summer. That might need you to take up a discussion of your relationship. Are they better off without you? But it doesn't correlate so well with the Ace of Coins here and the Ten of Cups. It seems as if they love you, but I don't know. For some people, they have found like a survival skill in being like the mean girl or the mean boy as well. So acting like a thief, saying these horrific things to you and not even mean it. Like, it's one thing if they mean it, if it's the truth and they're just shackled in the relationship with you because they're too nice to break up. So that's one thing. But if they are like spreading these remarks just to get a sting on you, just to hurt you. So maybe this is the thing. It can be, for example, commitment, that you want to commit. This person say they don't want to commit, but it seems like they would want to commit. But they say it because they want to make you anxious or they want to humiliate you. So it can be on so many different levels. I'm probably seeing many different stories. One where there's, lovers, and one is not standing up for the love because they are currently working on standing up for themselves, but they do it in a way that's offensive and hurtful and, not particularly honest. Let's say that they had parents that were hoovering over them all the time, micromanaging everything that they did. And that summer they felt freedom because they were always scared that you would micromanage them in the same way, even though you don't. But they felt like that. And when they were all alone or with friends they felt freedom. So that might be the truth in this situation, that they have this problem, but it's not your problem. It's not you that made them hurt like this. You just try to have a normal relationship. And for you, that behavior is painful. But from their point of view, they are saying no to something that they weren't able to say no to, maybe when they were a child and were, hoovered and micromanaged. So love can be there even when people act strange because they're acting accordingly to their old patterns. So this might be one of the storylines. And another storyline might be you ever had a fallout with a friend because you have a different opinion of the world in large, or like some detail that where you don't have the same worldview. Okay, so this is this person's behaviors and attitudes, and we have the World card in the reversed. So I don't think they want to end things with you as you seem to want to do. They probably want the things that you want, but they don't want to tell you that because of this with their problem with authority and, you know, loss of freedom and whatnot. So it seems as if you have a miscommunication. There's bonds between you, strong bonds, and a beautiful opportunity, but since maybe you're not, you have a lot of feelings, like you want to cut them with their sword. They have this rebellious authority problems, and you don't speak about it, so you're slowly drifting apart here, even though it's not really a problem between you two. It's just your different patterns is crashing a little bit. Okay, yours that you might be too nice to say when someone is offensive or like when they are rude, and the other one is trying to, you know, keep their head down and be obedient, but time and again they revolt and they do so in hurtful ways. That's not even fair. So this is the outcome for January, and we have a 5 of Swords in the reverse. So this says that this conflict could be sorted out, but there's not one person that's like at fault here. So probably both people needs to admit defeat, come down from their high horse and say, okay, I think we need to have a deeper discussion and try to understand each other. And maybe even try to understand ourselves, because this person might not know that they are, you know, revolting against you because they were like tight, they were in a tight leash as a child. They might not have a clue. They just feel like I can breathe when I'm not around you, because they have made you into their authority. So there's a lot of things to investigate, both with ourselves and with the relationship, and we can't just it's not going to be pain-free, and it's not going to be without conflicts, but we need to keep a cool head and try to you know, stick to the love that we feel for the person, and separate the person from their worldview or what they said or their, you know, trauma karma pattern that they have. So it's not easy, and it's not super friendly, but if you remember why you loved each other in the first place, it might be a little bit easier. So I will see what this person would say. I love you more than words can say, and maybe more than they want to admit, with the thief here in reversed. I think about you every day. I'm walking through the dark night of my soul. I think it has to do with this, that they are they're starting to see injustices that they have been a victim to, and so they are revolting maybe in all their relationship, and you just get like part of that scoop. Like they revolt and you are standing in the way. It's not really personal. So I think they are going through something that will be a healing event for them, or are a healing event for them. It's just that there's a little bit collateral damage on the way. So, and this is what you would want to say. Love is too dangerous. I will never stop loving you. Yeah, it's kind of this. Love is too dangerous and I will never stop loving you. So, coffin. You would want to stop loving this person because they were rude. But you will not, and so it's probably better to, you know, communicate and find out what this whole issue is about, than to just, you know, take a distance and spend time with other people. It can be good for a while, but then go back and see if you can solve it. I cry myself to sleep. Well, don't do that. But we have the anger here, but it might be masking some tears, because whatever happened was very painful, and it might have been painful out of proportion, because you might also project some issue onto this relationship that you got, like it hurt you to the core, but it's because you have a wound there, and it's not like the other person's fault. It's when you already have a wound, it tends to stuck. Like all the things that people say that's rude tend to stuck if we always feel a little bit unjustly treated because of our old patterns. Okay. So advice for you listening. So that can be a good idea to listen to the other person and try to understand them, and not not collect their words and put it on your wound, but actually just listen and try to focus on the other person and to understand them, and what was so funny with that you didn't find humorous at all, or why do they have this worldview, what's their, because probably in the core you're not trusting them to be a good person, and your investigation should be to find out their true intentions, so that you can learn to trust them as a person, and maybe then not they don't have to have the same worldview, or they don't have to always say exactly nice things. Sometimes they can say things that's rude, but it's not really personal to you, because they are a good person. They're just telling the truth from their position, which might be clouded with projections and old hurts and pains. An open heart will hear the message. When this card appears, you are being reminded that there's a time to speak and a time to be silent. Now is an occasion for listening. Pay attention not only to what is being spoken, but also to what's not being said at the moment, for the deeper message is not always obvious. Listen with your heart, not just with your ears, and you will find clarity. Receiving the listening card is a fortunate sign and ensures a greater understanding of your circumstances. I'm checking the reverse message and seeing if it's something for you. No, I don't think so. I'm thinking it's about being empathic in this situation with a person that's, trying to rebel against certain probably childhood issues, and trying to, help them voice what they are feeling, instead of taking it as, them being rude. So try to say, okay, so is this how you feel when you have listened to their story? And they can say yes or no, you haven't understand a thing. And then you need to start listening again and try to understand, okay? So I hope you will get the hang of this, you both together or the whole group, if this is a family or a friend group or something similar. And I would also urge you to watch the True Thoughts and Feelings to get more information about this situation, or the Love Prediction to learn more. At my first channel page, you will find a playlist for your astrological sign, where you can watch all the latest readings for your specific sign in one single playlist. On the end screen, you will see a link to that playlist, so go and check it out. And thank you so much for watching, and take really good care. Until next time, happy holiday season and a happy new year. Bye-bye.